I was working just a regular W-2 job. I was in healthcare marketing, working for a hospice organization, and so I was fortunate to make good money at a young age. I was making six figures in my early 20s doing marketing, and I did that for about 5 years. I had gotten my MBA, I paid off all my debt, bought a house. From the outside looking in, you would think I was doing really well and fortunate, which I was, but I was just very unhappy and unsatisfied. I felt unfulfilled. And so I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew that I didn't want to be working for somebody else or have like a ceiling on my growth. January of 2018, I resigned from my job. I had almost $300,000 of cash I had just relentlessly saved. And I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to somehow generate passive income through real estate. And I didn't know anybody in the space. I didn't have any family money, no rich uncle, no connections or quote unquote mentors. I started listening to books, podcasts, going to conferences. I thought I was gonna flip homes at first, realized that's very transactional. I started looking into investing and ultimately decided on this multifamily syndication. I set out on this journey and I knew I needed to have some partners. I needed somebody with construction background, somebody with finance background. I actually first met Robert at a conference in Dallas. It was in the summer of 2018, and he had said that he lived in Phoenix, I lived in Phoenix. Two of us started working together, and after several months, we got a deal under contract. We actually were short on the capital raise, of all things, and we had just met Bikram at a conference recently, and we asked him if he wanted to invest in the deal. We weren't actually thinking of bringing in Bikram as like a full-time partner, to be honest. We just needed his money, to be frank with you. But he came in, and after a couple months, we're like, wow, this guy is very smart. He has the elite finance background, which is really the complementary skill set that I needed, to kind of complete our holistic skill sets for the company. Initially, the three of us all had our different brands, and we weren't Rise48. We were just partnering and we were doing co-sponsoring. And after we started doing multiple deals and we realized this is something special, Bikram said, you need to become one company. He said, Zach, you be the CEO, I'll be the CFO, and then Robert will be Chief Construction Officer. So it was actually Bikram's idea. That was really refreshing for Bikram to do that, because you do need to have one person where the buck stops with them. For Bikram to say that, he was basically saying, okay, Zach, I trust you to be that guy. It is like a marriage, it's a relationship, because you're gonna go through tough times together, and it's how do you react during those tough times. We've actually grown stronger. We always stick together, and we realize that what we have is special. And so I think that's just how it's kind of developed over the years. Honestly, in the beginning, I didn't really envision having our own property management, our own construction company, anything like that. But after we started buying deals, we realized, you know what, in order to really scale this and have control and get the results that we want to achieve for our investors, we need to have full control. We need to start our own property management company, our own construction company. I think that the vision just continued to evolve. I can't say that we had this vision 5-6 years ago, what it would be today. It just kind of evolved into that, and we kept pushing our comfort zone and taking on bigger challenges. We've had so many leap of faith moments over the years, it's crazy. Doing the first deal, I had to put all my money into the first deal. That was a huge leap of faith because I didn't know how I was gonna pay my bills the next month. There were a lot of days when I quit the job where I was like, man, I should go back and get a job. What am I doing? But when you're 10 months, 12 months into it, and you have no tangible evidence to show that you've actually made progress, and people around you are telling you that you made a mistake, you start to question, should I go back? But you have to continue to have that faith and keep grinding forward. It's more about just having a mindset and a vision of a goal of where you want to be, and knowing you're going to do whatever it absolutely takes to get to that goal. Every single deal has a story. I could go back to a lot of these deals and there's a complete challenge and journey to get that deal closed, from the financing to raising the equity to whatever has happened. So I think every single time you take on a new acquisition, you're taking on a new challenge, you have to try to get that thing closed. Just in the last 6 months, we've established our core values, and it's really all about having a warrior mindset and a champion mindset. We want this to be a fun place to work that's high energy, and it is. But we want the people that are really hard workers who are hungry to succeed, we want them to hold the other people accountable. We want that message and that tone to be set and resonate throughout the entire organization. We have to really preserve that culture and the nucleus of our team, and so we take that very seriously. I think in 50 years, we'll be one of, if not the largest real estate company in the world. And I genuinely mean that. I'm not just throwing out some BS fluff. That is our goal, is to be a large, dominant force and do it the right way and build. We do expect responsible, explosive growth the next 5 years. We think the future is really bright, and we're excited for that.